this is Mike from Rush of California. In today's video, I will be going over how to set up the shocks on your Rush SR. The first step that I will go over is setting up the shock's base ride height. I am mounting the shock in a vise to assist with the next steps. First, I will loosen the jam nut on the shock shaft and rotate it all the way down until it stops as shown here. Next, I am closing the compression and rebound valves using a small drill bit that fits tightly in the adjuster holes. Note, you want to use light pressure when closing the valves and do not force them. If you fail to close the valves, the gold threaded shock piece will not fully bottom out to the height lock nut, which I will be showing soon. This part is not necessary, but just to show what the shock looks like and how the height works, I am removing the gold piece. If my camera was pointed a bit more up, you would see the threaded shock shaft screws into the threaded gold piece. Screw this gold piece all the way down. Should be around 20 full rotations from the first thread. This shock will be the left front, so I will set the height at 2 turns from 0 as shown here. Next, I will lock the height adjustment with the silver jam nut, similar to the first step. Now to set the compression on the shock. Always set compression first, as it is the closest valve to the center of the shock. It is important to back off the rebound adjustment to allow the compression knob to fully seat at 0. A quick way to check that the compression is not binding on the rebound is while the compression is at 0, the rebound should be able to move in and out. If this is not the case, loosen the rebound and double check the compression is at fully closed position. Now that the compression is at full closed, I will back off the compression 1 full turn or 8 holes using the drill bit. This is a good baseline. I tend to like to use the holes to verify position, as it will allow me to count corner or half turns as opposed to marking the adjuster with a paint pen. Once compression is set, I use a small Allen wrench to hold the compression while I set the rebound at 0. The rebound adjuster will not fully seat against the compression valve, so do not force it. Once at full closed on rebound, while continuously holding the compression with the Allen, set the rebound at 1 full turn out, also known as 8 holes.
What's up, dude?
Onto the springs. Grab the black and gold spring nuts, and since this is being set up for a front shock, I will use the 700-pound red spring. Drop the spring over the shock as shown. Setting up the base preload, I turn the black spring nut 16 rotations from the first thread. Sometimes the nut can be a bit tricky to get on the shock, just make sure that it is on there square and it's not cross-threading. And then lock this in place by installing the gold jam nut. This will be a good start until the car is placed on scales and corner weighted with the driver in the car. It'll be the same process to set up any other front shocks. For any shocks set up for the rear, there will be a different ride height setting, and for baseline, I have a different rebound setup as well. The rear shocks will also be using the blue 800-pound springs as opposed to the red 700 pounds. The main reason for setting up the different ride heights on front and rear shocks is to put a little bit of rake into the car to allow the front end to have a bit more grip, reducing some of that understeer. The same steps as before. Close the compression and rebound valves and screw the gold threaded piece all the way down to flush against the jam nut. For the rear ride height, unscrew the shock 4 full turns, then lock it in place with the silver jam nut.
You need anything out of the way, bud?
No, I managed.
Okay. We're doing an organized and clean day.
Another fail on my camera angle. I am repeating the process of making sure the compression is at fully closed and not hanging up on the rebound. Then I'm setting the compression at 1 full turn out, then holding the compression still with the Allen, closing the rebound all the way, and backing it off 1.5 turns out or 12 holes out, as opposed to the fronts where we did 1 full turn out. This will make the shock transfer weight a little bit quicker from the rear, allowing the weight to stay on the front a little bit longer, thus reducing more understeer. The rest of the video will be pretty redundant, so I'll speed it up a bit to make this shorter. You're welcome to watch the full video, but this should be all the information you need to successfully baseline set up the shocks on your Rush SR. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know down below. Also, if you have any video recommendations y'all would like to see, let me know in the comments and I'll work on producing those for y'all.